Thank you for being here on a wonderful Friday afternoon. In San Diego, any afternoon is always tempting because it's always sunny and it's always great outside. Let me formally welcome you to the final and, in my opinion, the most prominent event of the Innovation Week here at USD. Although it's just my personal opinion. I hope that by the end of the evening, you will feel the same way. This is the award ceremony for the 7th Social Innovation Challenge, hosted by the Center for Peace and Commerce. My name is Amit. That's not my name. I'm Amit Kakkad. I'm a faculty member with the School of Business, and as the director for Center for Peace and Commerce, I'm also your host for this afternoon and this evening. We have a wonderful, exciting, inspiring, fast-paced, throw some more adjectives in there, program for you. Here is the agenda. As you can see, we're going to try to do a lot. We're going to be moving pretty fast. If you lose track, try to get back into the flow because it's going to be pretty difficult, but you can try. We're going to start with welcome remarks from none other than President Harris of University of San Diego, Dr. James T. Harris III. Please welcome Dr. Harris.
Thank you. Is this working? Well, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome. I'm very excited to be here. This is my second year as president of the University of San Diego, and last year I was traveling and couldn't attend. And it seems as though everywhere I went that those individuals who participated in this event in the past said, well, you just have to come to this final event. And so I'm so excited to be here with you today. Dr. Kakkad had talked about how it's always sunny in San Diego, and obviously it's not today. And I was with a friend who visited from Philadelphia, and he came in and he was complaining about it not being sunny. And the only thing I can figure out the correlation between not being sunny today and what's happening today here is that there's a bunch of rainmakers in this room, right? Yeah, that works. I know it's corny. I had to have something. Right? Okay. Thank you. I've been asked to say just a few words of how this challenge fits into the mission of the university and to the vision for the future. And just let me share with you, over the last 18 months, we've had a conversation about the future of this university, where we think it's going, and where we've been, and how do we add and build upon a great foundation. And we came up with a process where we were very inclusive. We had over 1,000 different voices that were heard, students, faculty members, alumni, people around the world who wanted to tell us about what are the potential opportunities for the university moving forward. And we came up with a vision statement that we think is rather bold and really has 4 elements to it. One of them is to set the standard. The second is at an engaged, contemporary Catholic university. The third piece is through innovative change making. And the fourth is to address humanity's most urgent challenges. That last piece, humanity's most urgent challenges, comes straight out of Laudato Si, which is Pope Francis's encyclical on care of our common home. And what all of you are doing today that are participating in this is that you're looking at humanity's urgent challenges. You're setting the standard for that, and you're doing that through innovative change making. Change making on this campus is both a noun and a verb. It's something that came, God bless you, through our Ashoka Changemaker Hub that's on our campus. But if you're unfamiliar with Ashoka universities across the world, there are only 40 universities that have been named Ashoka Changemaker Hubs. University of San Diego is one of them. And we were named that because of our approach to change making and to social innovation, and the fact that we want to embed that and imbue that in our university community. And we think that's a very important part of who we are and what we're going to be doing going forward. We're seeking to accomplish the vision statement that I mentioned by the year 2024, because that's the 75th anniversary of this university's founding in 1949. You think about it, when Bishop Buddy, who founded this university at the time, he said that it would take 100 years to create a great Catholic university in San Diego, and our goal is that we're going to do it in 75. So this challenge, the work that you're doing, we're so proud of our students here that are participating. We welcome the students from from across the world that are here today that are going to be presenting, and we're very excited to have you and hope that you're going to be looking at graduate school here at some point in our law school. So we'd like you to participate, and I wish everyone the very best of luck, and have a great day here, and I'm really excited about this. So thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Harris. What I want to do is take a step back and take a couple of moments to put the Social Innovation Challenge in perspective in terms of why we do it, how we do it, and why these two individuals here were instrumental in starting the Center for Peace and Commerce and then starting the Social Innovation Challenge. So, in a way, we live in interesting times. What does that mean? As humanity, we have achieved a lot of progress over the years. And even then, collectively, as a society, we are still looking for solutions to many of the chronic and recurring problems faced by communities around the world, by environment that we seem to be threatening with our own activities, and making the place less habitable for ourselves and for other species. So, in a way, social innovation could be a positive and necessary ingredient that we can add to this challenge in order to find a lasting and impactful solution to many of these challenges. So, what is social innovation? There are plenty of definitions around, and I found one that kind of appeals to me. It says social innovation, including the mindset, the tools, collaborations, the attitudes that create novel solutions to social problems in a way that is more effective, more efficient, sustainable, or simply more just than the current ways of doing things can be our only way forward. Now, unlike commercial innovations that focus on creating mostly financial surplus for a small group of individuals, differentiating factor for social innovation would be that the primary focus is on creating a benefit for the wider community. Now, in doing that, you would need to pursue, support, and leverage those activities, and it requires individuals who are committed to creating a diverse and inclusive community, and who are dedicated to ethical conduct, who are compassionate, and want to make the world a better place. Does it sound familiar? Yes, to anybody who is part of USD, that is USD's mission. This is not something we do on top of everything else. That is at the core of what USD is about. And in a way, that's what led us to start Center for Peace and Commerce as a collaboration between the School of Business and the School of Peace Studies, with the notion that peace is a great goal to have, which is what the School of Peace Studies focuses on. But if you want to make that peace more sustainable, if you want to find solutions to the problems faced by the world, but have those solutions stick, then you've got to add the economic prosperity or commerce as a necessary ingredient into it. And that's the name of the center, Center for Peace and Commerce. And as I was saying, Dean Marquez, who is the first picture here, was the founding director of Center for Peace and Commerce, and as later on as the director for Changemaker Hub, and now as the dean for Kroc School of Peace Studies. She's still spearheading many of these activities in a bigger way than before. Dean Gomez, along with Dean Marquez, has, in a way, his fingerprints all over all of the initiatives that CPC does, including the Social Innovation Challenge. Unfortunately, they were not able to be here today, but we miss them, and we look forward to welcoming them back at the next year's event. So in a way, I want to go back to how we got started with the Social Innovation Challenge from the Center for Peace and Commerce. And it, in fact, was the encouragement and support from the Capeta family, who is here with us today. Not only they encouraged, they also supported us generously and created this idea that if we want to motivate students, especially in a college setting, they may not always be thinking about global challenges and might just be looking at how to themselves become more successful. We might want to have a challenge like this, which incentivizes and motivates and supports students who are interested in finding solutions to the bigger challenges. So that's how we got started. And over the years, with dedicated and continued support from many of our corporate and individual supporters, we are proud to say that this is the 7th year of this event. We started as a USD-only event. Then we grew into a San Diego County event where we welcomed participation from other universities in San Diego. Then we grew it to an event which was open to San Diego County and universities in Mexico, which were close to the border. And then as of this year, we have gone binational. This year, the participation was open to all colleges in San Diego County and all colleges in Mexico. And we have more ambitious plans that I'll share with you later. But the idea is we want to provide a platform for students who want to put effort in understanding a challenge that goes beyond them benefiting personally and get hands-on experience in creating a lasting change. So how do we do it? We focus on helping participants, not just through pitch competition where there are prizes and in-kind prizes, but we also help them map a global issue. We help them create and develop empathy for the affected population, create, test, and refine solutions by talking to the population or the communities that are trying to benefit, and create lasting coalitions that can help them implement those solutions on a wide-scale basis. That's the ambition. That's the goal. Along the way, students take part in many hands-on workshops where they learn a little bit of structure, a little bit of theory, and then they apply that to work through the challenge that they've identified in coming up with a potential solution, thinking about a business model around it, in ways in which they can measure impact, the ways in which they can ensure financial sustainability, and think about ways in which they can scale those ideas. So all of this work then culminates into 3 rounds of screening. The first 2 rounds, students submit documents that the judges look at offline, score them on various parameters, and usually end up filtering out about half of the entries at each round. So from 100%, we go to 50% out of round 1. From there, we go to 25% after round 2. And that leads to the finalists that then get to present in front of a live panel of judges in a pitch presentation format where they convince the judges about their idea being impactful, the solution being financially sustainable, and possibly scalable to get both in-kind prizes as well as seed funding that can help them get their venture to the next stage. So today we have the honor of presenting to you the 17 finalist teams from 10 different universities, both in San Diego County and in Mexico, who have gone through this process, have put tremendous amount of work into it, and have gone through the scrutiny of judges and have been deemed to have a lot of potential. But it's for you to listen to and see whether you agree with that or not. In fact, as we go into the next stage where each of the finalists will come and give you a very fast 90-second pitch of what their idea and what the solution is, please pay a lot of attention, because right after the 17th presentation, which by the way will go very fast, trust me on this, you will be voting live for an Audience Choice Award. This is the only award that the judges had absolutely no control over, and therefore, it's your way of saying to the judges, we also have a stake in the game here, and we will vote with what we think has the most potential here. With that, let me hand it over to Rachel Christensen, our Assistant Director for Center for Peace and Commerce, who will lead us into that part.
So hi, my name is Rachel. I met some of these students in February for the first time when they submitted to round 1. And now many workshops, much hard work, and 3 rounds of judging later, they're here to give you a taste of their social innovation. I'm very proud because they have taken action on their passions and given feet to their dreams for justice, sustainability, accessibility, empowerment, reconciliation, and empathy in our neighborhoods, in our world. So to the finalists already, before we announce anything, congratulations. I'm very proud. You've worked very hard. So as a reminder, each finalist will have a strict 90 seconds for their pitch, and then at the end, we will make a decision for the Live Audience Award. So without further ado, I'm gonna welcome up our first pitch, Amniotic Rap.
Hi, my name is Julie, and I'm 1/3 of Amniotic Rap. Imagine you are a mother who's just given birth. For months, you dreamed of this beautiful, happy life you'd have with your baby, but for some reason, when you look at your child, all you can feel is resentment, guilt, and a pure detachment. This is the reality of postpartum depression, a condition that affects 15% of all births worldwide. Look at the 3 individuals on your left and right. One of you is likely to fall victim to this condition, whether you're a mother or father, not to mention the long-term social and developmental risk placed on your child. However, the research indicates that if 2 individuals can feel each other's heartbeats, they will develop a stronger emotional bond. That's why we've created Amniotic Rap, a proposed device to connect mother and child. Heart monitor technology is placed in the baby's sock, which will communicate to a mom's blanket that will beat to the baby's heart, creating a more connected connection between the mom and the baby. Our manufacturing costs are roughly $25 per unit, and our profits will go towards subsidizing blankets for underserved mothers, because accessibility is at the core of our mission. We may not be mothers ourselves, but we are fiery female engineers who have actually struggled with mental health on our own. So we invite you today to open the dialogue on postpartum depression and join us as we aid mothers, fathers, and babies of our world. Thank you.
Each year in the United States, we produce about 400 million tons of garbage, and that number is expected to triple within the next 60 years. Hi, my name is Jordan Schultz, and I'm a senior mechanical engineering student here at USD, and I'm the founder and CEO of the Trash Tracker. The Trash Tracker's overall mission is to increase recycling rates. We do so by using our innovative technology to track the amount of trash, recycling, and green waste that each house produces. That data is then sent up to a cloud database where it can be securely stored and accessed. Then our team of behavioral scientists will analyze that data and send home waste reports to residential homeowners, giving them feedback on how well they're recycling, applying principles of behavioral science in order to induce a behavior change and increase those recycling rates. We're currently working with a local waste collection company called EDCO. EDCO serves about 15 cities in the San Diego and Riverside area and has been very helpful as a partner for us. They've been gracious enough to allow us to test our product on their trucks, and we're looking forward to a pilot test with them this summer. The reason for their interest in our project is because increasing recycling rates doesn't just help their environmental and social impact, it also affects their revenue, because the more recycling they pick up, the more money they make. Whereas when they pick up trash, they have to pay to dispose of it in landfills. And we have an extremely well-rounded team consisting of myself, 3 other senior mechanical engineering students, and the Dean of Graduate Studies and Research at Cal State San Marcos, a man who has over 20+ years of experience in creating behavior change when it relates to environmental issues. We also have a team of computer science students helping us with the cloud database, along with a group of advisors with experience in similar tech startups. So once again, I'm Jordan Schultz with the Trash Tracker, Help us make the world a cleaner and greener place. Thank you.
Imagine it's 9 or 10 p.m. at night. You have just been dropped in a city that you don't know, in a country that might not be your own. You don't know where to go, and there's no one there waiting for you. You might not have any money with you, no personal belongings except for the clothing on your back. You might not even speak the language, and the locals can tell that you're not from here. What do you do? Hi, my name is Antonio Irastorza, and I'm a USD student, and I work along with Fundación Gaia in Tijuana, Mexico. The story that I just shared with you is the story of 333,341 deported migrants in 2016 alone. Our goal is to open up a job recruitment office in Tijuana, close to the deportation center for migrants. Based on years of working with deported migrants in Tijuana, we've come to know their basic needs. We know that they need humanitarian assistance, we know that they need counseling, and we know that they need job placement overall. So after years of being able to work with them, we have come to know how we can help. And as a community, it is part of our job to be able to implement this with them, and it's within our community that we need to do this to work. And it's up to Tijuana, along with the support of San Diego, to understand that they are no different than from us, and that us as a community, we need to set the example in order to welcome back home deported migrants so that they can form part of our community. Thank you.
Thank you for the opportunity. We are solving an environmental crisis. Our landfills are overflowing. We could substantially lengthen the life of our landfills using an ancient technology in a new environment. What is that technology? It's composting. We are urban composting. Mumu, Veronica, Janelle, and myself are working to get this project off the ground. 40% of all waste that goes in the dumpster is food waste. This project provides educational classes, composting containers for apartments, and composting facilities that can be installed in apartment buildings. The program teaches residents how to compost in their apartments. Apartment managers pay a fee based on the number of units in their building. Savings in their trash hauling fee as a result of the trash diversion would pay for the program. If reasonable, the composted materials could be used on-site in the gardens and landscaping, or transported to local community gardens. The environmental benefits of extending the life of landfills is in the millions. The City of San Diego's Environmental Services Director said that just by extending the life of the Miramar landfill by 8 years would save tens of millions of dollars. After our pilot program, our goal is to launch in a 300-unit apartment building, and that would give us the scale that we need to see the cost savings. We need your help, though. We need the Social Innovation Challenge to fund our pilot project. We need to test our assumptions, and we can't do it without you. So thank you.
Hi, my name is Anita, and I'm with Dream Big. Dream Big is an organization that wants to help Native American students achieve higher education. Right now, Native American population has the highest poverty rate, but the lowest rate of higher education. This leads to a poverty cycle that will never end. Our goal is to create opportunities for these Native Americans to go to college. A fellow student of ours came from a Native American reservation, and he had his family who encouraged him and pushed him to go to school and furthermore go to University of San Diego. Unfortunately, this isn't the luxury for every Native American student. Native American schools don't have the resources and mentorships that other schools off the reservation have. Dream Big is going to be a website that has all the different resources needed to go to college, as well as a mentorship program and a sponsorship program. This program will be financially stabilized with advertisements, as well as partnerships with local casinos and volunteers. This way, we will be able to remove the statistics and eliminate the stereotypes that come with this. Thank you, and dream big.
Take a moment and think about the first thing you did this morning. If you're like most of us, the first thing you did was check your phone. 80% of Americans with smartphones check their phone before they brush their teeth in the morning. My name is Sonia Mohammed, and my partner is Sebastian Slovin, and together we co-founded Nature Unplugged. The problem we're addressing is that teens are engaged with media on average of 9 hours a day. The more plugged in they are, the more disconnected they are from nature. The combined effects of this are really impacting them negatively. We're seeing higher instances of attention disorders, anxiety, depression, and childhood obesity. So Nature Unplugged offers 2 services to address this, and it helps them cultivate healthier relationships with technology and reconnect with nature. These services are, first, outdoor intensive retreats, which are really powerful and important experiences, but they're not necessarily creating lasting change. Because of that, we're also offering an 8-week e-learning program, and I know you may be thinking, that's kind of weird, I thought this was Nature Unplugged. But we learned quickly in our pilot program that we needed to meet kids where they were at, and that meant creating a digital platform. And also, conveniently, it allows us to scale. So I'm gonna leave you with a challenge. I want you to see if you can wake up tomorrow morning, brush your teeth first, and check your phone second. Thank you.
Did you know the average American household will spend $55,000 in a year? Do you know where your dollars are going or what your brands are doing with those dollars? The problem is we really don't know what our dollar supports. We don't know what impact our products are having on the environment or the people that make them. But we care, right? We try to be responsible. We try to be aware. We check product labels. We listen to the news and the public opinions. But it's so difficult to find corporate social responsibility information, and looking for it can be overwhelming because thousands of companies are publicly reporting on it. But what if there were a central location that had all the corporate social responsibility information and the brands that you support with your dollars? That's where our mobile app comes in. We're looking to provide unfiltered information to anyone with a smart device. We are also looking to empower people at the point of purchase, and we'll do this in 2 different ways. One for the basic user that is just looking for information on the go. The second for the user who wants more in-depth information. We're also looking to hold companies accountable for what they publicly report they're doing. Our competition fails to deliver something that's seamless and accessible to the fingertips of millions, and that's where we're going to shine. My name is Ellie Ram, my partner is Joe Costello, and we're Go Green. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Jasmine Sadler. Think back with me when I was a young child from Detroit who loved to dance. Then I grew up, and by the time I was in 8th grade, I was tutoring my own classmates in algebra. Then in high school, there was a space shuttle disaster, and I thought about being an aerospace engineer. I had to choose between arts, math, or engineering. With San Diego STEAM, students like me from Southeast San Diego don't have to choose between the left side of their brain and the right side. They're able to do it all, including science, technology, engineering, art, and math. So by the numbers, by the time students reach 4th grade, their math proficiency level for Caucasian students is 51%, compared to 19% for African American students. Another issue I found when I moved to San Diego was that a lot of educators and organizations would bring me to speak to their students and inspire them to be engineers. But then when I started my MBA program, as my classmates could tell you, that went out the window. So I thought it would be a perfect opportunity to unite all of these organizations together to have a larger impact in our community. So with San Diego STEAM, that's what we're planning to do. So we're asking for a $10,000 investment in our first camp this year and ongoing programming for combining science, technology, engineering, art, and math. With San Diego STEAM, our motto for changing the world is "We are better together." Thank you.
Unfortunately, I have to give you the microphone.
close your eyes for just 2 seconds. Close them very tight and try to shake your neighbor's hands. Just take 2 seconds and see how well you do with that. Now, close them really tight. By the sounds of it, you're finding that a little awkward, and that's understandable. To many people who are blind, those simple challenges are everyday experiences that they have to face. However, with the IR sonic sense, it gives them the sense to deal with those challenges. The sonic sense is a fashionable pair of sunglasses that makes tones to help blind people meet, greet, and know exactly what they're going to be meeting and greeting. That helps us become a more inclusive community, which is what the mission statement is of the University of San Diego. That'll help all of us create a greater community. Thank you so much.
I want you to think who you consider has been your best teacher. And why? Maybe because of their interactive and fun classes, or maybe because they encourage you to be the best person you can possibly be. Hello, my name is Beto, and I represent many college students that are supporting public elementary school teachers in Mexico. We are working to give them the opportunity to update in technology. Just in Jalisco, more than 34,000 school teachers face 3 main problems. First, standardized trainings that don't advance according to the teacher level of knowledge. Second, resourceless schools. Most schools do not have working computers or even internet. And finally, the unawareness of the technology potential in education. Our solution is, first, personalized trainings that meet the competences established by UNESCO. Teachers learn the technological tools they can apply in their classes. Second, technological infrastructure. Schools with trained teachers will receive technological equipment to apply what they learn. And finally, updating workshops that allows a constant teachers updating in technology. In 2 years, TIPS has trained more than 120 teachers from 6 public elementary schools. In the next 5 years, our goal is to have trained 20% of school teachers in Jalisco, with an impact in more than 200,000 elementary school students. Join us to transform their classes and support our teachers. Thank you.
Good evening. We are Care Technologies, and we'd like to thank you for coming out tonight. Despite the fact that the United States has one of the most advanced healthcare industries, nearly 250,000 people, or the equivalent of 1/5 the population of San Diego, die every year due to highly preventable medical errors. Just scale that out to emerging economies like China, like India, like Mexico, where the technology is not as advanced. The numbers are appalling. Manual transcription and incompatible technologies make medical data transfer near impossible. That is why we created the pod. It is a device that standardizes the transfer of data between multiple EMRs and different medical devices. This summer, we'll be working with Sharp and Scripps hospitals to begin trial runs. By the year's end, we hope to begin full-scale production. Gone are the days where healthcare providers needed to manually transcribe their data. Manually transcribe their data. Doctors, nurses, and paramedics will be able to automatically record and transfer their data from ambulances, hospitals, and other medical wards. Thank you. Yeah.
Hello, we are the Global Ties One Village Tiki Torch Philippines. We all know the saying, give someone a fish they eat for a day, teach them how to fish they eat for a lifetime. We want to go beyond that. We want to teach them how to start an enterprise to feed their families and create jobs for generations to come. These past 2 summers, my team worked with our partner, Gawa Kalinga, a highly successful poverty reduction NGO in the Philippines, to provide solar street lightings for one of the villages there. While there, we met Kua Jun, a highly skilled and motivated villagers who inspired us to take our project a step further, to empower the villagers and give them the tools to help themselves, with design an extremely affordable, compact, and durable solar lamps that can be easily manufactured by the villagers using local resources for less than $5. These solar lamps will not only be a reliable light source, lasting up to 60 hours on a full charge, but it will allow the villagers to manufacture and sell these lamps in other villages and cities. This will help build a job environment. And last summer, we went back to the Philippines to train Kua Jun and the villagers to build this solar tiki torch. And we are intending on returning this summer to help create a venture that is owned and run by the villagers. Your investment in us will help make this a reality. You are investing for a tool for empowerment, and you are investing in a tool for economic change and social changes. Thank you.
My name is Cassandra. I am co-founder and vice president of Crafted Sustainability, the company developing the Recyclinator. The Recyclinator is a machine that captures and recycles the CO2 emitted by small businesses. Without us, small businesses that are contributing to CO2 pollution will continue to do so. Even though the individual impact of each small business is small, their combined impact is large. We are starting with the waste of breweries. Why breweries? We're college students, so when it comes to beer, you can bet we've done our research, but also because the brewing industry is full of environmentally conscious people who already do everything possible to reduce their waste. In fact, the idea was sparked during a talk with Jacob McKean, owner of Modern Times, and a conversation about what is missing in the industry. But possibly the coolest thing about our technology is how easily adaptable it is to other industries. In California, the amount of CO2 released in the brewing industry was about equivalent to 5,000 automobiles in 2015. But other industries also release large amounts of the gas as well. And those include the biotech and the pharmaceutical industries. And we are already doing research into the best way of expanding into these spaces, because every industry we reach is another portion of CO2 that we can prevent from being released into the atmosphere. We're asking for your help to do so. Thank you.
In Mexico, more than 50% of the population lives in poverty. I'm Daniel from Tipi. We came from Guadalajara, Mexico, and only 20 miles around, there are many communities living in vulnerable situations. The lack of job opportunity, water supply, and health services, problem with alcoholism, drugs, and nutrition. They live in unfinished houses with a traditional model family in Mexico, where the man works in a factory full-time, earning only $7 per day. This is not enough to maintain a family. Women have to stay at home, raise their children, and do the housekeeping. Our solution to that is to empower this woman. We change this woman the knowledge of traditional cross-border embroidery. We create some workshops where we teach this woman. After 2 months of the training, they get payment. Working with us, they can earn an extra $60 per month. With this, we guarantee the food supply of the family for the whole month. This working only 3 hours per week in their own homes. We are changing the way these families are having relationships with each other in the communities. We are improving the social fabric cohesion there. Our product is put this embroidery in a market opportunity, as lips for iPad or MacBook at first. We are working right now with 25 women, and we want to work with 100 women by the end of the year, with your help. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Ryan Sosha, and I'm the founder and CEO of Jado. And we're building a public benefit corporation that's on a mission to eradicate sexual assault, rape, and harassment in the United States. We've built the world's first truly anonymous crime reporting tool, by surprise, in order to do this. And we're so effective at doing what we're striving to do that we can identify repeat sexual offenders 70% faster than anyone. The thing you should know about these types of crimes is that 300,000 are reported every year, and this only represents around 7 to 13%. We'll stick with 10, but the thing you should know is that the other 90% go unreported. With our technology, we increase reporting rates by 300%, and this is what gives us that exponential ability to identify repeat offenders. Our technology delivers a tremendous amount of both emotional as well as practical strength to survivors, as these types of individuals who think they're alone and statistically are not, are able to pursue justice together through our technology in both the form of criminal and civil litigation. For lawyers using our technology as a service, they're able to find cases that are both structurally worth more and easier to prove. We're a public benefit corporation because we are a for-profit entity on a mission to eradicate sexual assault, and we built the first generation of end-to-end encrypted reporting technology to do exactly this. We need your help, and we hired some Berkeley geniuses this summer. Thank you. Bye.
Hello, my name is Charlotte Vitak, and I'm the founder of My Story. When I stepped on USD's campus as a freshman, I felt really isolated and alone. We were on a beautiful campus with wonderful people, a great education, but I just wasn't feeling connected. So when I came back for my sophomore year, I decided that I wanted to throw an event that would connect people authentically. We invited 5 different speakers, students, professors, faculty members, to tell their real, true, personal stories. We printed posters with the tagline, "Shut up and listen," for a bit of a shock value, but we didn't know if anybody was going to show up. When we closed our doors that night at 7:30 for the event to begin, 150 students were sitting in that room. I knew that I was not the only one that was looking for that connection. And we created it. It was a beautiful night. And since then, we've had 10 My Stories, and each of them has had an attendance of up to 250 students. We then presented this model at the Ashoka U Exchange, and other Changemaker campuses were biting at the bit to get a taste of our curriculum. We're looking to scale this to a nationwide program, but we need your help. Build community, practice empathy, listen to My Story. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Chiara Dorigo, and I'm co-founder and CEO of Grable, where we are developing technology to turn 1 drop of water into 2. Every day, the US uses 9 billion gallons worth of clean, potable water for residential irrigation alone. This is not a sustainable use of our water, especially considering that we're now in a time of chronic drought. Fortunately, there's a resource that we're producing on our properties already that we could be using to irrigate instead. This resource is what's known as gray water, or the effluent that comes out of our showers, sinks, bathtubs, and laundry machines after every use. Unfortunately, there isn't currently a great way available for us to harvest this gray water, so this is where Grable comes in. We are delivering to the market a smart, streamlined appliance which fully automates the process of gray water collection, filtration, and distribution on a residential property. An early prototype has shown a 55% reduction in our monthly water use, as well as a corresponding reduction in the variable portion of our monthly water bill. Our strategy for bringing this technology to the market is to certify contractors to install our appliances in new single and multifamily homes for builders. Right now, our team of 8 is competing this evening to assist in the completion of our 2nd generation prototype and to install it in 5 to 10 beta sites throughout Southern California. We thank you for hosting us tonight and hope that you will join Grable in making the gray stream mainstream. Thank you.
I don't know what to say. I'm speechless. Such amazing ideas, so much potential, and all of that delivered in less than 20 minutes. What more could we ask for on a Friday afternoon? Now is the moment of truth. We are about to go from listening and appreciating all of these wonderful ideas into voting for your most favorite team that should get the Live Audience Choice Award. I'm going to spend 30 seconds maybe explaining the mechanics. Hopefully, it's not that complicated. Then we'll give you up to 2 minutes to do it. I'll have a timer up there that if I forget to start, please tell me to start. Then, when the 2 minutes are up, we will pause at that point, and any votes that have come in by that point will count towards deciding the winner. If you vote after that point, we appreciate the vote, but we will not count. So, with that, let's go and look at the, and please don't start just yet because my timer is not up. You know I'm a professor, right? So I kind of get really iffy about that. 2 ways to vote. One is text. For those of you who are comfortable doing that, that's the number you send the text message to. And this is what you text. Just a 1-digit or 2-digit number that corresponds to the theme that you're looking to vote for. If, on the other hand, you are more of a smartphone smart user, you can do this. Use that URL, go to the website, then you can actually vote for the theme by selecting the theme name. And let's go bring up the timer and start the 2 minutes. Ooh, almost there. Here we go. The number you need to text is still there, and the team names and the numbers are here. In a moment, I'm going to bring up the live dashboard, but I don't want to hide this until everybody has sort of the mechanics down. Website is not. It has been turned off. OK, thank you for that. Let me just bring it on and see why that's the case. So, telespace. It comes back here. And oh, it is supposed to be on. So, do we know why that's happening? You might have to, you might want to close and start again. Maybe that will do it.
I'm so sorry, guys.
Apparently, that's the promise of technology. So please bear with us until we, can I hide that? Okay, we're not going to do that. We're going to go and take another laptop and put that on this. We're going to do some stuff behind the scenes. Oh, they might have logged us out, so you might want to log back in.
Working? I'm going to get through.
OK. For some people, it's working. Now, that is disconcerting. Actually, while we are working on it, let me try and tell you why it's the case. We are only allowing a select few of you to vote. This system is completely rigged. The time is up, and the winner is Shruti. Just kidding. Now, if we close and start again, will it delete all the votes?
No.
Okay. So if you were to,
I think it's all there. Just I can't show the line. It just shows the list.
It's okay.
Yeah. So we are
But it's working?
Yep, it's working.
So apparently it's working at least for some of us. So if you are part of that special group that is supposed to be voting, jokes apart, everybody should be able to vote by now. If that's not the case, please let us know. Yep, I shall do that. And let's get that. Yep, okay. And since we experienced technical difficulties, we'll go back and restart the timer in a moment. It's okay. Things happen. That is the audience choice. Still not? How about using the text? By the way, that's the low-tech solution that I would fall back onto. If this is giving you trouble, I think that one will probably work through. Let's see, we are slowly advancing. Let's give you back the part, and let me bring back the timer maybe. So, should I start the timer now? Okay, so as soon as my mouse gets here, clear, and we now go back to 2 minutes. Yeah, let me get that page back, which means I'm going to lose the timer. So, that's not that. Yep, okay. I'll keep it there for a few minutes. Actually. On the phone, it's supposed to text you back. Yeah, yeah, okay. Saying, received your word or something along those lines. No, nothing came. Nothing came? Try sending the text again. And if it has already received your vote before, it will reject the new one saying, we already have your vote. That is not actually. Yep.
Probably just need to call it. I think we just need to call it based on
Yeah.
this, honestly.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
mean, what else
Okay.
would we
I'm gonna do one. No confirmation. Okay. I'm gonna also try this. Yeah, that I guess would be. Try the website, and otherwise we might have to do something about it. 7479. Okay, and the message is something. Okay. Yep, okay. So I'm gonna try and switch into the dashboard. And we do seem to have a good number of votes by now. So we're gonna go with what we have so far in the interest of time. And let's get this guy. Where did that go? Out of here. And it looks like we have a clear winner. TIPS. May I please invite Dr. Steve Conroy, Associate Dean for School of Business, and the person responsible for all the things that CPC is able to do now. He's the one that set the foundation as the past director of CPC for 3 years, from 2012 to 2015. Dr. Conroy.
Thank you, sir.
I'm going to call this team.
Okay. Okay, can you hear me in the back? I feel as I always did at this point, a little bit emotional. Oh, and with a microphone. A little bit emotional, very excited, very passionate about this. But I got a lot more sleep last night, this year, than I did before. So it's a great honor to be here, and I'd like to welcome up Tips. Come on up and get your Audience Choice Award. It's in the amount of $1,000 in cash. That was my best radio voice. go. Okay, congratulations. Welcome.
Stay put.
Okay, one more. All right. Oh, one big photo. Okay, one big photo. I'll hide the microphone this time.
With us some community partners that have offered in-kind prizes. These in-kind prizes help the finalists get extra mileage out of their funding, as well as help build connections, get the resources and the mentorships and the platforms they need to make their ideas a reality. So for the first prize, I'm going to invite up Alyssa to announce the Clean Tech San Diego Prize.
Hi, everyone. My name is Alyssa Gutner-Davis. I'm with Clean Tech San Diego, and I would like to award Grable the Clean Tech San Diego Prize. You receive a membership for a year with Clean Tech San Diego.
Thank you, Alyssa. For the next prize, I'm going to invite H up to announce the Connect Prize, which is an opportunity that was already announced. This is an opportunity to present at the Springboard Intake Panel. So there'll be 3 awardees for this, and I'll have H read them off.
Yeah, so my name's H. I'm the Director of Outreach at Connect, and we're super honored to be here in support of USD and the work you guys are doing. This really incredible stuff. So with that being said, I'd like to call up Care Technologies, Recyclinator, and Trash Tracker.
Next, Hera Hub is a co-working space for women that they can make for them to make connections and have an important platform to grow their business. So I will be announcing 2 winners of the Hera Hub 3-month gold membership co-working award, and it goes to Amniotic Wrap and My Story. And as they just demonstrated, the whole team should come up to receive the award, so thank you. Next, Impact Without Borders offered a business model validation lab to 2 of our finalists, and I'd like to acknowledge them, Amniotic Wrap and Grable. And I'd like to next invite up Alicia Quinn and Ken Davenport to announce the Mission Edge. So Mission Edge is offering a workshop for all finalists sometime this summer, as well as an award of one-on-one consulting for 1 hour for some of our finalists. So they'll be announcing that second award now.
Here, you can. Let's see, Nature Unplugged. And San Diego STEAM. And Fundación Gaia.
And finally, in a moment, once the stage is cleared, I'd like to invite up Amelia and Heather to announce the Moves the Needle Awards. And this is going to be a 2-day Lean Innovation Boot Camp for 2 of our finalists.
Do you want me to advance it one more?
Yep.
Okay. We have Sonic Sense by IR Sonic and Jado.
Can we please have another round of applause for our in-kind support providers and the winners? Thank you. And with that, let's move to the next set of awards. We have 6 different tracks this year. And let's start with the first one, which we are very proud to be able to offer in 3rd year in a row, what we call our Mexico Impact Award, up to $5,000 in seed funding for promising projects. Let me invite Ms. Sonia Parker on behalf of Ms. Wendy Gillespie, who has kindly sponsored this track and has been very passionate about supporting work being done in Mexico.
The 2017 Mexico Impact Award goes to Fundación Gaia. And also to Tippy and to Tips.
Next, we have 2 very exciting awards, both sponsored by Qualcomm Wireless and Qualcomm Ventures. Qualcomm Wireless Reach, and Qualcomm Ventures. To present the awards, may I please invite Kit Muhart and Kyle Moss.
It's a pleasure to be here. So, sorry, I need my glasses. Hold on a second.
It's a little awkward.
So, can everybody hear me? Okay. I don't know. I can't.
You can read?
I can read it. Yeah, it's kind of strange, but.
Okay, fine, I'll do it. The winner is La La Land?
All right, our 2 minutes of fame's over.
All right, we're done. That was awkward.
All right. Now the real winners.
The real winners.
All right. For the Wireless Impact Award, we have Trash Tracker. And Tippy. As well as, what? One of them was 2 of them, as well as Tippy.
So the next we have is our Global Impact Award, defined as an idea that has potential to benefit not just a local community, but at a wider scale. $5,000 of seed funding, sponsored again by Qualcomm Wireless Reach and Qualcomm Ventures. And can I please have Keith and Kyle to present these awards?
We will not make you wait, but there are multiple winners in this category, so it's not a surprise. The first one goes to, for $1,000, amniotic wrap. This is the next one, right? Yeah. The next winner, for also $1,000, is Fundación Gaia. I don't want to get this wrong. The next one for $1,000 is Trash Tracker. This one? Is this the last one? Yeah. Okay. And the last one for $2,000 is the Recyclinator.
Thank you. Next, we have what we call USD Women Innovators Award, designed to support teams that are made up of women-led teams from USD. And may I please invite Ms. Gloria Sandvik to present the award.
Hi, I'm excited to be here. This Women's Track Award goes to My Story. Charlotte Vickers and Lauren Franklin.
Thank you. Next, we have our Torero Impact Award, designed to reward students that are from USD and have promising ideas that have the potential to change the world. To present the award, may I please invite John and Nancy Jo Capetta, please. John and Nancy Jo.
Good afternoon. I brought my glasses. It's always a great pleasure to be here. We generally come to the finals, and as an alumni from class of '83 and as being involved in this program from the beginning, it's just a very, very proud day. So congratulations to all the finalists today. It was very, very inspiring. We have 4 recipients in this category, and for the total is $10,000, and $2,000 is being awarded to Care Technologies. The next recipient at $2,000 is Sonic Sense. And at $3,000, Fundación Gaia. And also at $3,000, Trash Tracker.
Don't forget sponsors, university partners. Super short, we're almost at 6 o'clock.
Yeah, but we started late, so okay, yeah, that's fine. We'll cycle through. That leaves us with one more award, and then a couple of really interesting things that we want to do right after that, before we get to the reception. And I realize that I'm the only one kind of standing between you and some more fun in the back. So we'll try and make it brief and quick while keeping it moving, while keeping it interesting. The next award is what we call the Local Impact Award, sponsored by the Moxie Foundation and Pacific Western Bank. May I please invite Ms. Rachel Zahn and President Harris to jointly present those awards.
Before we announce the winners, I'd first, how about a round of applause for the Center for Peace and Commerce and for me and for Rachel for organizing. We often hear about the fate of the world and talk about the future, and some people aren't too optimistic about it, but watching all of our finalists tonight, we have to be optimistic about the future. It's wonderful, and thank you for your inspiration. So the 2017 Local Impact Award winners are
Recyclinator, and San Diego Steam. Congratulations.
So I'm going to take a moment. I promised to keep it moving, keep it quick. Actually, I was lying. I'm going to keep you here until 8 p.m., maybe 9. I might even throw a final exam. It's a final exam week. Are you guys ready? No? Okay. Why don't we do something in between? Stay with me for a few more minutes, and then I will spare you the final. Deal? All right. So I'm going to backtrack a little bit. There are a couple of things that I didn't get into. Partly, to be honest, I was quite nervous with few people in this audience. So I kind of missed a couple of things that I wanted to say at the beginning. And let me quickly get to that. And then we'll get back on track. So here is what I wanted to show you. Here are the names of universities that participated this year. Includes universities from San Diego, universities from Mexico. And it's been a tremendous journey, and we could not have done it without active participation from those colleges. So can we please have a round of applause for our participating universities? I want to take you back even further. I want to take a moment to acknowledge each and every one of these wonderful supporters. We have mentioned Qualcomm twice already, Moxie Foundation, Pacific Western Bank, Annie Navarra and Jerome's Furniture, the Capetta family, Price Family Foundation, McNamara Purcell Foundation, Miss Wendy Gillespie, Michael Mughal, Anthony Swarka, Linda Klosterman, Miss Liz Nutting, among others who have been wonderful, committed, passionate about supporting CPC and everything we do, not only with their time, but also with financial resources. And like any good deed, things do take resources. And I want to take a moment to acknowledge all the things they've done for CPC and for their continued support going forward. We also want to acknowledge, again, the organizations that are part of the local ecosystem and have kindly contributed in terms of supporting our student teams, in providing expertise, in providing programs, and in allowing our student teams, both from San Diego, USD, as well as from other universities, to actually benefit and leverage their networks, their expertise, and their connections. We could not have done it without you. Thank you for being a part of this. Go, 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 go. Okay, almost there. Now, we are back on track. Here is a set of individuals that I don't know how to thank. So I'm going to stay here speechless for 10 seconds and say, I don't know how you do it. but these are the advisory board members for CPC who amazingly have been there since the beginning of CPC, and they are still on board, they are still going strong, and they are still as passionate, as excited, and as committed as they were in the beginning. So thank you for being a bedrock of support for CPC, and if you could please rise for a moment. I know some of you are here. I want to take a moment to bring Dr. Steve Conroy back into the conversation, very, very briefly. Dr. Conroy has been tremendous in not only what he did with CPC while he was the director, but in ensuring that the new team that got into this role were actually able to take things on and actually not stumble along the way. So a lot of credit goes to you, Dr. Conroy. We appreciate you for who you are, what you're doing, and we're going to be banging on your door. So thank you for that. Now comes a slide where I would not try to read the names, otherwise I will be keeping you here until at least 10 p.m. So here is a shout out to all of our mentors, judges, and coaches that have supported SIC along the way. We do a lot of hands-on activities where the student teams require coaching and mentoring along the way. And this is a list of individuals that have supported all of our teams this year. And this is countless number of hours of coming to USD campus and meeting those teams off campus, meeting for coffee, meeting for lunch, sometimes even buying lunch for the team, apart from supporting them with their expertise. So thank you. Last but not the least, this is a list of people who gave all of their Wednesday just 2 days ago to judge all of these 17 finalists on a day-long marathon on a work day out of their busy professional lives. So want to appreciate all the things that they've done. And could we please have a round of applause for them as well? Lastly, there are two groups of people that I want to thank, partly because if you see some hair here and not all gone, it's because of their help. Now, when I was going to say that, Rachel said, no, don't talk about hair being gone. Talk about hair becoming gray. And I said, maybe that's a male-female thing. For male, maybe hair going is kind of the reality. Maybe for female, it's just hair getting gray is what makes you worried. So here is our list of volunteers. As the name goes, they did it absolutely without any expectation, just because they believe in the mission and what we do. Thank you for your kind support. That's how we were able to pull it off this evening. If there is anything that we couldn't do well, that's me. If there is anything that did work well, it's them. Now, I'm going to try and say something without sounding cheesy, but CPC is in a kind of a strange, or not strange actually, it's one way to say that it's fortunate, and one way to say that would be to say tricky position, because we report into two bosses. The center is a partnership between School of Business and School of Peace Studies. And in my corporate life, I'm living my fourth life by now, judging by the number of near-death experiences, as well as going by how each life feels so different from the other ones. And in the previous lives, which mostly were corporate, non-academic, I would do anything to get out of a situation where I had to report into two bosses, right? Fortunately, here, and I mean it truly, and especially because those two bosses are not here, right? So I can actually be honest, that the School of Business and the School of Peace Studies, when it comes to CPC, pull together as a team and support us so well that it makes me feel like, gee, this is not a working relationship. This is more like a family. So wanted to thank both the schools for being an integral part of what we do. Lastly, the IPG operations team, everybody who actually made this happen logistically, thank you for your support and in making this happen. Are you guys just being nice to me? Because I've been making you clap for so many times, and you're still going strong, which means you're leading me on to do a couple more. Is that okay? Thank you. So, as I mentioned, I took on, actually I did not mention, so maybe I should mention, that even though conceptually, mentally, emotionally, psychologically, I feel like I've always been part of CPC, formally, that began in December of last year. When I took on the role of director for CPC, Rachel Christensen, our assistant director, also joined in November last year. But we have been blessed with a wonderful team that apparently does not treat what we do with CPC as a job, but as something that we would do even if people didn't want to pay us and wanted to kick us out. We'll still find a way to get back in there and finish because we are so committed into it. So can I please have all of CPC team members here for a quick round of applause from audience. Dr. Conroy, would you please join us? Janet. Andrea. One more. Sorry, this is off-scripted part, right? So the team had to improvise. Thank you. And most of you are probably now thinking, is he ever getting done this evening? Answer is no. No, I have only one thing now to do. In fact, let me drink some water. Before I do this. So let me quickly revisit the journey that we have had so far. The Social Innovation Challenge, we started in 2011. We believe we have had 7 wonderful years with the support from community, from University of San Diego across all quarters, community partners, other universities. We've been able to go from a USD-only event to a regional event to a binational event. So far, we have had 574 teams. That's roughly 1,500 students, roughly. About a little over $300,000 in seed funding, hopefully moving the needle for many of these ideas that are in nascent stages. So looking back, in a way, I kind of feel nostalgic. But and I don't mean this evening. As we close this evening, it makes me sad to announce that this is the last year of our Social Innovation Challenge. Sorry. But we are going to push forward. The journey ahead is going to look slightly different. We're going to try to go deeper by putting more emphasis on clearly understanding an issue before jumping into solution, because that has been one of the key criticisms of this wonderful projects that students have come up with is, gee, maybe if you had looked at problem more closely, your solution would actually have been more impactful, would have had a better chance of solving the problem. So we're going to do that. We're going to align the Social Innovation Challenge more closely with 17 social sustainable development goals as put out by the UN in a way to find a common language to connect our teams with the wider community. When we speak that language, we find it easier to connect them, so we're going to do that. But that's not really the main part of this. The real part is the third line. Next year onwards, it's no longer a binational, it is a global event. So please join me in saying goodbye to the binational SIC, Social Innovation Challenge, which we like our acronyms, SIC, and welcome the global SIC. Will take me, I've got strength to believe. We can do anything with that. Let's go and continue the celebrations. Thank you. You have been fabulous.